Third time's the charm on this one. This will be our third time trying to get this to be under 1 million minutes long. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage. We've got one. All right, ADD, marriage tips.
Yeah.
Commence.
Bring it.
Okay. All right, here's the deal. Mr. F has ADD. I do not. That could lead to divorce. I'm just setting the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. So, once or twice a year, I want a divorce. At least. And it's because living with someone with ADD is really challenging to your mental health. I mean, definitely a stressful life. For real. Support me. The person with ADD doesn't experience it that way. Right? You're
Right.
just living your life. This is totally fine. The other person's picking up the pieces. Here's the deal. ADD is kind of like dementia. It is. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to have everyone know what the deal is with it. But this is an important thing. If your spouse doesn't acknowledge they have it, it's going to be really hard to implement this marriage plan.
Yeah.
Although maybe you could get them to try it as a diagnostic feature.
It's true.
Okay. And we also addressed this several times in the other videos, but it took Mr. F many, many years to be willing to acknowledge that he had ADD. Yes. And he's on medication. And he wants you to know that you might need to try more than one before you get the one that works.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you might need to try more than one therapist, people, no matter what your mental problem is.
Yeah.
Because he went to a therapist first. She didn't want to crack. Our marriage got worse. Then he went to a better therapist, and for many years, it turns out he was crazy. He was a swindler.
Oh,
He was. But our marriage got better. He was a good therapist. He just was a shady businessman. Had his own problems, I guess. Anyway, the point is, if you have a problem,
to the Yankees fan.
there's always that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to be over if we don't get right to it.
Yep.
Okay. So, here's the deal. Your partner has ADD. You want to kill yourself. You need some help. Here are some things that we want to talk about. There's some problems with ADD. One is a lack of time awareness.
Yes, obviously, most people would just think, you're a space case, and,
we're here to tell you
can't
that is
focus,
not
whatever.
the major problem.
So that's only part of it. The other part of that is...
hyperfocus.
Yes.
Which actually makes most people with ADD very successful at what they do. Because you go to work and you don't think of anything else. Right? And you could be working 100 hours a week and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
It's true. Hire people with ADD.
Yeah.
But let's also say, because this is important, it wasn't until you were on your meds, on the right meds, and you had the support of a loving wife, that your career really took off.
True.
Because while you had the actual creative skill set, you couldn't actually accomplish any work. It's true. That's true. I mean, you did some work, but you were...
It wasn't a consistency. It was a consistency issue.
And the medication helped. So think about that, people. All right. But it doesn't matter, because even that, I just want other people to know, even if your husband's on meds or whoever, or even your children, people, that doesn't cure all the problems. You still have the same basic problems. It's just a little bit easier for them to work through the focus issues. Okay, whichever one end of that is. And the hyperfocus, watching, I want to really give the PBS shout out. There's a PBS special. Look it up. You can watch it or buy it or whatever. It's worth buying if you think your spouse might have it, and have them watch it. I think you'll be astounded by how much of your life is actually typical of this scenario. It was really, it was a good experience for me. So there's that. It was funny, and it was, it really opened my eyes more to the hyper-focus aspect, which in our house is often displayed every day.
In
with
retrospect,
the dishes.
you seeing that show might have been the biggest
Change for us.
That was
Right.
Equivalent to my getting medicated.
Maybe. Really, it did make me realize, okay, almost all of this is just the disorder. So, where I spent the first before...
Well, you attributed everything to, like, passive-aggressive
That was before.
behavior.
I just saw the thing this year.
Yeah.
I changed the passive-aggressive idea a couple of years ago. But, oh my God, I did. I did.
Maybe.
God, oh Lord. Cool. I did. But I will say I spent the first 10 years thinking it was passive-aggressive, and that was really rough on both of us.
Yeah.
Because I did experience that way. Because when you have a normal brain, you can't...
It's impossible for me to dig my way out of that, too, and not be defensive.
Right. When you have a normal brain, you can't even believe someone else could continue to make the same mistakes or forget information, or the amount of things that go wrong in a day. I mean, it's just inconceivable to you that someone wouldn't be doing that shit on purpose to tick you off. And so it was a bad dynamic, but we're past that. I will say it's still annoying and can still tick you off when things continue to happen and you're allowed to have those feelings. But the whole marriage thing has absolutely nothing to do with that part of it. It has to do with the fact that, what I was saying before in the other videos, that you're a well-intentioned husband, it's just the actions aren't there.
Yeah.
Okay. That took a long time for you to know that about yourself. Because he kind of grew up... I will say this is a family culture for you. Because I think a lot of people in his house have ADD. That if your intention is good, that's good enough. It isn't really about the action. It is about the intention. Where if you're a normal person, if you're not actually doing the nice, right thing or showing up on time, you're late and you pissed me off.
Yeah.
Okay. But bigger thing is, like, just within our marriage romantically, someone who intends to be nice to you and then doesn't follow through because they're distracted by other things or they're misguided. He also is usually misguided in what he thinks would make me happy. He thinks doing the dishes will make me happy. That's just because he's obsessed with doing the dishes instead of spending time with me. True. Matt, you're obsessed with the dishes. You are obsessed with the dishes. God. I can't believe it. Don't even deny it.
No, I'm not denying it.
You love the dishes, and I know you love them because you get to be done with them, and it's something you've accomplished, and it's a clear slate.
There's that.
That's why you like it.
Well, okay.
I know you think I can't do the dishes, but I managed to do the dishes for 5 straight months when you weren't there.
No.
I leave the dishes for you because you love it so much.
Oh, God, thanks.
Okay, we gotta get moving.
Yep.
All right, but the main part is he might have gone months or years, people, without ever saying anything nice to me. Truth.
Obviously, I would go long periods of time without
and
meeting
also,
your need in one way or another.
Right. Spend a lot of time thinking, like, oh, this is just a bad phase. Like, we've just moved in. Or, like, I have to work.
Things are crazy.
Things are crazy at work right now. And he doesn't really see the big picture of, like, things are crazy at work forever.
Things are crazy.
Yes. He always thinks, like, oh, you know, like, we're going to...
deadline week.
We're going to reconnect soon. We're about to enter the most romantic phase of our life. Like, not actually do anything to make that happen.
Oh,
that's true. Come on. True. So, and then
the kids sleep through the night. Whatever.
Right. He always has some reason why it's not working and not really ever changing his actual behavior. And then I'm a normal person, and you want to be enough to inspire your spouse to actually call you, ever say anything nice to you, spend any time with you whatsoever, not fall asleep reading to your children every single night, something like that. And that wasn't happening. But I finally got to the point where I'm like, I know it's the ADD, and I know he means well, and he loves me, and he wants to have a relationship with me. He just is distracted by other things, and it's not working.
Right.
And I was at a breaking point, people, and I'm like, I'm going to divorce you. Like, there needs to be a change. And this happens all the time. This happens at least once a year. And then I'm like, you have to change. But I don't want to tell him exactly what to do, because then I think, that sucks for me. That sucks for me to say exactly what to do. Don't you want to be married to someone who can actually do something nice for you on their own? But then this time I'm like, he can't. And it changed everything. So pretend your spouse has Alzheimer's. Would you expect... I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That's the whole plan.
Oh, God.
If you just decide this is Alzheimer's, would you expect them to know tomorrow what to do? It's the same. They're not going to know. So we are now using the iPhone. I said, because first when I was having my breakdown, I was going to let him think of himself, and then I realized I'm going to get divorced if I don't tell him exactly what to do. So once a day, he has an event pop up. It goes on indefinitely.
Not just an alarm.
Not
It's
just
like
an alarm.
an event in the calendar.
It's an event, so it pops up and it actually tells him what to do. Otherwise, if an alarm, he might not remember what the alarm is for. The event tells him to contact me. Just, I don't know, does it just say my name?
Yeah.
It just reminds you. And he's supposed to contact me. Text me, email me, call me, give me a shout out. I don't want to talk to him. It's no big deal. I just want to be acknowledged, because otherwise it might go several days without being acknowledged. So it's a small thing, but it has a huge impact on you as a person and your self-esteem to have someone actually acknowledge you when you spend most of your life kind of being ignored or forgotten or...
Feeling that way.
For sure, feeling that way. So, he's also supposed to say something nice to me, and so he should put a event in there to remind you of that, because sometimes he forgets. But there has been an improvement because they're tied together. That's true.
Yeah.
Say one thing nice to me about myself, not because it was going on, and now I think everyone's thinking this is one-sided, but I'm saying, has it been a one-sided result? No, because I don't need the reminder, people. But also, once someone's nice to you, you naturally want to be nice back. It's changing the cycle. He also has an alarm to wake him up if he falls asleep reading, which he does.
Yes.
Every night. And so he was falling asleep, and then I'd feel like, is he tired? Should I let him sleep? Or maybe he'll wake up, and then he'd never wake up, and then I'm feeling super neglected and like I have no relationship at all. So we talked about that. And so he has an alarm now, and he gets up so we can spend time together. And then we have an alarm that goes off every Sunday night for him to come to me and ask me about the marriage. Truthfully, I'm going to tell you, in 1 month he's never done it, but the alarm goes off and I say, it's time to talk about our marriage.
Yes, we're both sitting here, so yeah.
And the talk about the marriage, this is important. It's once a week, so you're not building up a lot of resentment issues, and you're not talking about other things. You're just talking about how did he do in terms of contacting you once a day and complimenting you, because those are the only things we're trying to improve right now. We're not trying to solve all world problems. And I found giving him a grade letter, a letter grade has been helpful to you, because it's like clear cut. The week I gave you a D, you were shocked, but then I was like, dude, you were at an F. That's still an improvement. And you got a B that 1 week.
Yeah.
And then he said that's all he was shooting for.
I want a sticker for the fridge.
No, when his alarm goes off, kid said the other day, she's like, Dad, don't forget to love your wife alarm is going off. And that's basically what it would come to, right? You'd been forgetting to love me. Outside. You were only loving me inside of your heart. Quietly.
Yeah.
To yourself. So, and now I said, in 6 months we're reconvening, and if this isn't improved, you're hitting the bricks. At first. And I thought might take months for I thought we were going to really to rebuild our trust and rebuild the reconnection. Within days, everything was like the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
Partly because I'm desperate, I guess, for attention. But more because it changed the whole, having him contact me every day, and he says something nice, reminding him that, I think it was a big key to remind you that I'm not looking for a grand gesture. I'm just looking to be acknowledged.
That was part of the problem, was that
as a partner and a spouse.
Yes, it would be with more clear expectations
we only
from
have
you.
50 seconds.
Yes.
Because before, when I would get mad,
allowed me to be like, boom. All I need to do is give you a little quick,
shout out.
What's up? I can do that. I can stop whatever I'm focused on and just throw out the text or quick call. I know that there's not like an expectation like we have to have a big conversation in the middle of the day or something. Right. So it's doable for me. It's
doable, and let me say, just that small amount of attention in the day changes our relationship.
Yes.
Immeasurably.
Then I get home and you're not.
And I'm not mad and resentful and feeling ignored, and then I'm not ignoring you. But also, we've had a little contact. It just makes things more pleasant and nice, and then everything changes. And then also, getting up to spend the night, then we have time in the night to spend together. Huge difference, but also the alarms. We recommend it. Life-changing.